What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, and this is Unanimous Decisions. And I'm going to get to the interview, but I got to let y'all know there was a little bit of technical difficulties with this one. So I lost the first part, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to prep you for this right now. This is possibly, I don't know, I don't even know if I would call it an interview. It's one of my best conversations that I've had with a fighter or somebody in the boxing industry. I came into this, I already was, for the most part, pretty fond of Deontay Wilder. I followed his entire career. But I came away from this interview probably liking him even more than I did to begin with. So I really want y'all to check this out. I had to let you know why it's going to seem like this video starts abruptly. We get right into a big time question from the jump. So tune in, take a look, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I appreciate y'all watching in advance. Yeah, if you're not able to get yourself in place mentally, you're not going to be able to be at your best. But I want to get back to something you just said, and it also harkens back to another quote that you had mentioned before some years back. You said, we don't train to play, or we don't practice to play, we train to kill. I remember a while back, it was like, and I'm going to be honest with you, there's very few things that I heard you say in interviews that made me go, oh man, why he say that? But you said once, I want a body on my record. And I always wanted to ask you, like, after that, do you still feel that way?
I'm getting this question asked to me multiple times, and as I told them, I'll tell you the same thing. I don't retract from what I've said.
Mm-hmm.
People on the outside looking in, this is, for one, you call this a sport, and I wanted to ask why you call this a sport.
I call it a sport because the definition of a sport is two people or two teams using their bodies in an athletic competition to win.
Oh, you said team.
I said people or team, because like tennis is a one-on-one sport. It's a sport. Because it's two people playing against each other unless it's doubles. It's a one-on-one sport. So there are individual sports, there are teams, but in a sport, the definition is two people or teams using their bodies to compete against each other to get a victory.
So what do you call them? Two men have boards at each other. So that means in the streets you can have two guns and make the best man win. Make your accuracy with your shot win with my accuracy of my shot.
Well,
so you consider gun violence a sport?
Well, no, because that's not an athletic competition, and that's not. And there's.
But you have to have skills. You have to have skills. You have to have skills to point that gun. You have to have skills to scope that sight. You have to have skills to be accurate. A lot of people are amateur when it comes to it, but you have to have. If you have the dominant skills, then you become an assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And with this is totally a business. People on the outside looking in don't understand the business of boxing. For me to say this is a sport, it's like a masking agent. To what really occurs in here. Over 13 fighters dies a year. And it's probably more than that. What other sport that you want to call, you see people losing their lives in as the business of boxing? What other sport you see that we have to have our own insurance, medical bills, and stuff like that is nothing provided? Or maybe let's go even further. When we retire, we have nothing to show for. We don't have nothing but the guys that handle us, that promoted us, managed us, have mansions. They have private jets. They roll around in Rolls Royces. And when a fighter is ill, they can't support themselves no more because there are no retirement funds, that nobody helping them out. Then they just left out for trash. They just left to die. At the end of the day, when I make my remarks on things, I risk my life for others' entertainment as well as yours too, if you ain't watching it. So I always tell people, you guys just as guilty as me, because you're guilty by association for watching what I say that I want to do. Because I know the real truth. I know what really goes on. The head is not meant to be hit in the first place. So when that occurs, that can be obviously an equal reaction that happens that can lead to death. I don't know no other sport, no business that has that to occur. This is not a sport. This is a business. One that not many people care about you unless you're doing good or unless you're making money for them.
Mm-hmm.
Stop making money for them and see what happens. You're thrown in the trash. You're forgotten. Because guess what? There's another fighter right there waiting to come in your position. Because they're trying to fight them way out of poverty as well. They're trying to fight them way into some point of where they can provide for their family. Most sports you have to go to school for. While boxing is not one that you don't have to go to, you can get right off the street and go in the gym and train and become something. You can come right out of poverty and and they like the ones that come out of poverty that's dumb, that don't have no education or no money management about how you add and subtract your money because you're gonna be stole from.
Mm-hmm. No, see, I don't
dispute. Certain things I can't explain to the outside that's looking in.
No, I don't think it's a difficult concept to grasp. I don't disagree with anything that you said, but I don't know if anything that you said addresses why you said you want a body on your record.
Because the logic of it is, that's why I respect every fighter that steps in the ring. The design and the logic of it, I'm trying to hurt you and you trying to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, if I get hit in the head a certain type of way, I am highly in a position where I could die.
Right. But so I watched.
So my words is not far fetched from what I want. You know, my thing is to better something, because I don't like, people love to be politically correct. You know, if I'm gonna risk my life, I feel like I can say what I need to say. I can say what I want to say if I'm risking my life for others' entertainment. You know, but the thing about it is another thing. Why am I the only one that people have a problem with it? Why being said, when you have multiple of fighters have said it multiple of times, but I've never heard anyone bring the issue up. But only when Deontay Wilder said it.
Well, I don't
everybody get a distaste or.
I feel like I've been like probably watching and, you know, consuming this sport for over 40 years. I've covered it for over 20. I'd never heard anybody put it that way, but I wasn't passing a concept of guilt at all. So I wasn't saying you're guilty. I just wanted to know if you still felt that way. And I do say this, I watched you fight Artur Szpilka, and I watched you destroy him with a right hand in the corner. And I immediately saw how concerned you were because of how powerful that shot was. And because your power is, there ain't nobody else like that. There's nobody else. I ain't never seen another dude that could do a fake crossover in a ring, hit a dude behind his guard and drop him, especially a dude with a chin like Berman Stavern. So I've seen, you know, I watched, this is like, I didn't just like drop, you know, off the side and just start watching boxing yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So my thought was, he said that, but I'm looking at the compassion that this man has when his full power is unleashed. And so that's what made me ask that question, because I'm like, it don't look like he didn't care about Artur Szpilka.
Right. You got to have that warrior mentality. You know what I mean? When you've been in this business, you got to have that warrior mentality. This is nothing, like I said, this ain't nothing that I'm practicing to play. I'm training to kill. And that's it. I can't apologize for not being politically correct or putting it in a phrase or such a way that people, where it amuses people to like, oh, that's nice. There's nothing nice about this. You know, and I'm not directing it towards you with it. I'm just directing for the response. I mean, I'm responding to the comment, because I haven't got this comment. I haven't got this question multiple of times. It seems like everybody listening to each other or some whatever. But at the end of the day, this is for not only for the one that's interviewing me, but this is for the listeners as well that have a problem with what I've said or want to have an understanding of what I'm saying. Then you have a full picture. standing on the outside of her, it's just like a coach on the outside. You know, it's like a coach that ain't never really, just say ain't never played basketball or something, but he got all the answers to how to get there and what to do and stuff like that. Or somebody, or a strength trainer trying to tell you to do 10 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and then go do a mile run when he ain't never did it himself. He don't know what it takes. He don't know what the experience is. He don't know what the atmosphere of it when you get tired and you feel like you about to die and you got somebody coming in and trying to hit you. Don't know nothing. So I tell people, go experience it for yourself to really realize what I'm saying. And then once you experience it for yourself, and then that's and only when it'll hit you, like, I know exactly what he means by what he say that.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's the only way, because on the outside looking in, it can sound harsh. It can sound distasteful. It can sound a certain way, but if you're not a gladiator, you're not a warrior in there, and you don't understand the concept of what this really is, you won't really get the full effect of what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I'm not apologetic what I'm saying. I'm right down in there. Because if anything happens to me and I died in that ring, God forbid, and then, now we're talking about a whole different situation now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
I guess everything I said would be enlightened, and it actually happened. We've seen it many times, and I understand that people sometimes have a problem because I actually can make it happen because of the power that I have and stuff like that. But that don't dismiss other fighters have said it multiple of time, and they have not gotten any backlash from saying it. And it can't be to the point where they don't have the power that you have to actually do it. That didn't even matter.
No, I think the difference in what you said and what we hear, so I think anybody who got any sense knows that boxing is a brutal sport, and people can die. People do die. I have actually been in an arena with a person not just that died, but was seriously injured and had brain damage after the fight when it happened, and I wasn't there as a fan. So I know that it can happen. I think the difference is acknowledging that it can happen, and then saying that you want to make it happen, and I want to make it happen, and you say it in a way like it's going to add a notch on your career. I think that's the part that made it a little different, and that's what prompts the questions. Everybody knows that it's a possibility. Everyone knows that it's a possibility, but when to hear a fighter say, "Yeah, I know it's a possibility, and I would like to cause it." That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. What do you think we're doing when we get inside those ropes, over the ropes, hitting each other in the head for 12 rounds, for 10 rounds, and you got to understand, not one doctor won't tell you that the head is not designed and not meant to be hit.
Right.
They would say the opposite. They would say the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. So what do you think we're going in there doing? Mm-hmm. I'm just being blunt with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what occurring. When I step over the rope, he is trying to do the same thing. Not only is he trying to win, but he's trying to win by any means necessary. That's why you got guys putting stuff in gloves and taking all these different drugs to make their body do certain things and perform. What do you think the cheaters do then?
Oh, that's horrible. I think it's horrible.
They're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill you. but we don't hear people talking about the cheaters. They're really trying to kill you. I just got God-given strength.
Yeah.
That ain't that compared to by somebody that's taking a drug to try to do or do what I do or higher than what I do, or take a drug to try to advance their body to perform and do something that is not meant to design to do. We don't hear about those people. We always hear about what Deontay said and all this and that, But I tell the truth. I be real. You ain't gonna get no cheater come out to my man. I put drugs in me, this rat poison in me, this gasoline, this boar meat in me to try to kill a man. You ain't gonna hear that. But in general, in reality, this is what they're doing. But they only doing it by their actions. My words just been spoken. No action has been taken place, but their action is being consumed in their body. they're putting things in their gloves to actually have to perform. And when the people on the outside looking in, they don't even see it. They think it's just a regular boxing or somebody making excuses and all this.
Yeah.
But I live in peace, man, because God knows, I know, and that's all they need to know. My things are what I say. Many people dissect what I say all the time. And I understand that as well, which, I'm one of God's chosen ones.
Yeah.
I don't say things to get people riled up, or I don't say things for clicks and likes and stuff like that, or to people know why. I say things that comes from my heart because of the situation that I'm in. I see a picture deeper than what it is. They say you can look at a picture and get 1,000 words. Why you got to just get 1,000? I try to get 1,000,000.
Yeah.
I try to be over and beyond it. And the way I select my words or how I use it, it is what it is. I don't want to give people a direction of where I'm going. For me, what's understood don't have to be explained, and I ain't trying to sugarcoat it.
Yeah. No, man, I'll tell you, man, I had to ask that question. That's just kind of how I always do interviews. But the realness is I've never enjoyed covering a fighter more than I've enjoyed covering you. I've never, I can say this outside of my journalism and more from my boxing enthusiast standpoint. I never rooted against you, and I never will in a fight.
Oh man.
That's never happened, but I had to ask you that question. I said, I'm gonna ask. I ain't no big guy, but I mean, I ain't no little guy. I'm 6'5", but this brother's 6'7". He could kill me, but I still got to ask him this question. I gotta ask him.
Most definitely, yeah, baby, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that because if you don't ask it, somebody else gonna ask it. What I mean? Like I said, I've been getting that question like 4 or 5 times. I mean, and certain people may want to know. I'm just one of those guys, Brian, that I ain't gonna lie to nobody. Like, I risk my life for this business. So anything that I've said in here has been the God honest truth. And I can take a lot of. I would love to take a lot of test and get the opposite of people that say certain things in this business or whatever, and what they've said it has to be true. To get them to take a lot of test and see who come out on top.
Yeah.
Because I know everything I've been saying has been the truth, and that's what the truth don't help me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And have mercy on my soul if it wasn't.
Yes, sir.
Certain things that I do say, a lot of people don't want me to say. They wish I would disappear and just go away, because half the time I'm talking about them. And half the time what I say applies to them and what is going on, what is really going on. This business is a beautiful business when you can do it and you understand the rules. It's rules to this.
Yes, sir.
You understand me? And when you can do it, of course, it'll change your life. It changed my life 3 times. And it's going to continue to change my life as long as I prevail and be in the right state of mind to do what I got to do. But if I'm not truthful to myself first, to be able to be truthful to those that's looking in on the outside, then I can't get to where I need to be, because I'm living in a lie. I think when I die, a lot of people will appreciate me even more so than they ever have, because you're really getting a fighter that keep it real with you.
Yeah.
You get a fighter that tells the truth. I don't have time to lie. I don't sit around. You win some and you lose some, and that's just what it is. But I dare not to cheat. I dare not to consume something. I dare not to put something in my gloves just to get a win, just to get a victory, or just to get an advancement, talking about helping out my family. If it happens, it's going to be out of my own glory, my own pride. It's going to be out of my own honor of me being able to get down and do the dirty work day in and day out, weeks and months at a time for myself. And I take upon that acknowledgement, and when victory do come, I can say I really did it. I did it. Now, you have all these other guys that just consume these things or whatever and make it look like nothing happened and stuff, and people, they take it for what it is. Some people can see it in clear eyes, but they dismiss it because of who the other person can be, and they're like, oh, I don't care. he deserved it or whatever, this and that. But you know, at the end of the day, man, Brian, I can only be honest with myself. They say the truth to set you free, and the things I've said in my life and in my career has been the truth. So I'm peace. When I say I'm at peace, man.
Yeah.
I don't sit back and worry about what I've said and damn, I shouldn't have said that, or or go back and like, damn, I know I wasn't telling the truth. That's this and that. I don't have no regrets in what I said.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, these people are thinking the same thing. They just not willing to say it as open as I am because of maybe consequences of the backlash that they want to get. But behind closed doors, they say all types of shit. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's just like a racist being in front of you that's saying he ain't a racist and he got black friends and stuff, but behind closed doors, he released every bomb that could be. And most of the time, talking about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's behind closed doors. And like I told the person, I'd rather for me to know a person up front and who you are up front. That way I can put you in a category. I know where to place you.
Yeah.
That don't mean I ain't gotta talk to you or be around. That just I know where to place you. And maybe one day we can agree on something or have the same conclusion behind certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's wrong with the world now. That's why we at war all the time. Not only just the money and the power, but the misunderstanding of each other. We don't understand each other. Because in reality, bro, we need each other.
For sure.
The human race needs each other.
Yeah.
But it's a difficult thing and difficult times. And we as us, happy Juneteenth. So we know all about that now.
Oh yeah, for sure. We sure do. This the only work I'm doing today, talking to you. No, bro, I appreciate you, man. I really do. I appreciate you for showing what you just said. We got to learn how to disagree and not be mad at people because you don't agree with what that person said. I wanted to ask you one other question that's way off from what we just talking about. Like, I don't know, you got scanned for that boxing game, Undisputed. Your render is probably one of the best renders in the whole game. I'm like, it looked like he walked in there and just the whole camera went over the whole thing. But also, you got to be the most overpowered kid. Like, I know you strong. I know the power is real. If they had 105 power, this is what you probably should have. But man, I'm trying to tell you, if somebody pick you, I immediately just leave the lobby because I'm already knowing. I'm trying to tell you, it's like whop whop whop, and half your energy is gone.
That's crazy. You know why it's so funny though? Because most of the time when I'm out, most of the time be kids and stuff like that, and it be some adults too that loves to get on that boxing game and stuff. But I done heard everybody like, man, I always play with you, man. You got that motherfucking KO power on that game too, man. You be handling their ass on that. That's what these are verbatim words that told to me and stuff. And everybody seemed to enjoy the game and play with me. I know my sons used to play it a lot, and they used to always play with me as well. I haven't played it yet. I just been sitting around. I like to see them enjoy certain things. Yeah. And, especially with my sons, to see their father on it and play things. But, man, I swear I done got so many calls. I done got people on the streets to come up to me and talk about the game and how they play with me and different things. And it brings excitement, you know what I mean? It brings just like now, I got a smile right now that's sealed right now, at least at the moment in time, because of the conversation that's been had. And it's great to see people. I love being able to make people happy, make them smile. No matter what the sense of humor may come from. You know what I mean? It can come from a fight that I've won. It can come from a loss that I've lost. It can come from something that I've said or any little thing. You know what I mean? Whatever can float your boat, make you happy at that moment in time, do so. You know what I mean? Because this is a short life that we live. This is not promised. Yeah. We got plans to do a lot of things. We got plans to do stuff today, but we don't know for sure we're going to make that plans happen. Yes, some people didn't wake up today.
Yes, sir.
And, not to think about those things, because if one thought about that, all the issues and the things that could happen for us to be demised on this world, man, it'd be a scary feeling. Everybody stay inside then,
Yeah,
because we
man.
know the leading depth is fall. And how many times we fall?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Especially playing a sport or something like that. But man, I enjoy certain things like that, just making the people happy, and no matter what, I mean, these are what these conversations are about as well. You know what I mean?
Yes,
having a conversation with certain things that certain people may not understand.
Yeah.
And when you're talking to the person that have said it, just like the situation we was talking about, some people may get an understanding because they can take themselves out of themselves and put it in, maybe, what I'll say, take themselves out of their position and put them in your position, and kind of, I wouldn't fully understand, but I can somewhat understand what he's saying. And that's why I tell people to get in my world. Go to a gym or something. Go spar with no headgears and stuff like that. Just get that energy when I'm in the ring. You will see what I'm talking about. Walk in my shoes. You will see what I'm talking. You'll have a better understanding, and you'll come out with a whole different outlook on it. Like, damn, I get what he's saying. Because in reality, I mean, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I want everybody to go back to their family of course. That's why when you brought up this Fuca situation, I was very concerned about him. At one point in time, I didn't see him breathing. And my heart almost dropped for him. You know what I mean? Because I want everybody to go back home. But you got to have that mentality of a killer in this business, man. And it's like you training day in and day out for weeks, for months at a time, to put harm to another individual. What mindset you think you're going to have? When guys in the military, what you think they listening to? You think they're listening to some be nice type of shit?
Some Whitney Houston.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? They talking about kill. Like I said, this ain't, when I say about sports, this is something we don't play. We don't say we're going to go practice. We ain't practicing to play.
No.
We going to train.
Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard said you don't play boxing.
You're going to train for something. You're going to destroy it. You're going to get rid of it. And that's just it, man. Sometimes people just have an open mind and an open heart to certain things, especially certain things that I say, because I'm a loving person. I love people. I love to see people do good, even if they're doing better than I. I'm so happy for them, because I just have just as much as time. I have 2 feet, 2 hands, and I have a brain to think about certain things that if it's not going my way, I can come to some conclusions of trying to figure out this motherfucking thing we call life.
Yes, sir.
And it's hard. It's hard, man.
It's definitely hard, bro. It's definitely hard. But man, I'm be honest with you. I was not gonna come to this fight, but now I really think I am. You heard what did that joke Kevin Hart said about The Rock? Come on. I said I'm my own head. Come on.
Come on with it.
I might do it because I met so many fighters, man, but I've never met you. I was telling my son that I was like, man, I actually realized I never have actually met Deontay Wilder. I would love to, and hopefully, like I said, for this fight, I'm wishing you nothing but the best. Hopefully, everything works out the way we plan it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I want you to change that might until I am.
Yes, sir. I can't throw Tyrell like under the bus like he ain't even gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be there.
Yes, he is. He gonna be there. He gonna show up and he gonna perform to the best of his ability. And that's what I like about fighters. Being able to show up and rise to the occasion, no matter what it is. And that's why I take my hats off to every fighter that steps in the ring as well. Because we're risking a lot, we're risking a lot, and not even just our lives and that's involved. I'm big on that. I'll forever talk about that because that's how I feel. That's the real harsh reality of it. And many will be like, why you want to be in it? Because I want to be a part of the 1% of the world. You know what I mean? I want to be unique. I want to be different. You ain't getting your parents or nobody forcing their child to box or to do any combat sports like that. You ain't in school talking about I want to be a professional fighter or whatever. People want to play football, basketball, baseball. See, my son said he looked up the highest paid sport, and that's what he wanted to do, and that was soccer. I said, damn right, boy, go on and play that soccer. Keep making it money. You understand me?
Yes,
They ain't got to worry about it. See, a lot of people ask, is your son gonna let your son box? Only if their heart is in it. Your heart has to be in this to get in this business. This is of the 1%. Many people can be on the outside and talk about what should have, could have happened, or what he should have done and what he shouldn't have done, but they would never step in the ring and lead by example, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. If you're gonna criticize, you're gonna lead by example. Show me something.
Yes, sir.
And then we can probably listen to some stuff. But other than that, man, at the end of the day, man, man, I respect these. Like I said, I respect all fighters at the end of the day to step in. And me and Tyrell, we're gonna have a great time in Wichita. So all that can make it, please come out. It's gonna be a great one. This is the return of Deontay Wilder. To all my fans, I'm sorry that my last couple of performances has been disappointing, but you got to understand, I am living in this world and trying to figure certain things out as well. I've had a lot of trials and tribulations, come my way, and I had to deal with. I've had to deal with a lot of betrayal from people that I should have never have to deal with. But it's an ongoing story that's gonna happen throughout this time of life. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if you know better, you would do better. So now I know better, and you can see me do better, baby. But I'm always keep it real with you. I'm gonna be like one of them old granddaddies, goddamn, ain't got nothing to lose. I don't give a fuck. They always say, I don't give a fuck. Like granddaddy stuff, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be one of them old granddads that keep it real with people and tell you how I feel in the moment in time, man. And I just want people to try to have some sense of understanding before criticizing or before judgment. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's only one judge, and that's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? And but other than that, man, I love all you guys. I love my day ones. I love all my fans in Wichita, Kansas. We are coming to have a great time. Not a good time, but a great time, baby. It's going to be for a short period of time, but it's going to be a great time while it lasts. And I hope everybody that can come out and enjoy themselves. And those that can't make it, payperview.com. The fight will be on. Click on that. And, if I can't see you there, tune in. It's going to be great, man. This is the return of Deontay Wilder, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I'm taking back my throne, And at the end of the day, man, America needs me. They putting out my logo out every night, waving it. We need that. We need our hero back. And I'm gonna answer the call, baby.
Yeah. We definitely need that. We need that American heavyweight energy back up in here. We need that. We need that for sure, bro. But yeah, man, I appreciate your time so much, man. I gotta ask you, bro. If you could give me Unanimous Decisions Bomb Squad. That's the name of my. That's the name of
man. You already know.
This Unanimous Decisions Bomb Squad, man. If you could hit me with that, I would go away happy.
Yeah, baby.
Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Brian, and then but love, baby. Happy Juneteenth, baby.
Happy Juneteenth.
I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Peace.